Speaking Parseltongue is an ability that has always been associated with Salazar Slytherin, as many of his descendants, and of course he himself, have been able to converse with snakes. But have you ever wondered how this trait, this strange talent, rose up in wizards in the first place? Today, I find out. Hey everyone! So I was skimming across the Harry Potter wiki the other day, and came across the article on Herpo the Foul. If you don't know, Herpo the Foul was an ancient Greek dark wizard who's known for the creation of many curses, the first ever horcrux, and as the name suggests, having a strong connection to snakes and speaking Parseltongue. I was already researching stuff about the creation of magic, but then something clicked regarding this wizard. Because the fact that some wizards are able to speak to snakes and some aren't is already pretty odd. I mean, why snakes in the first place? You would think that those who have the ability would be able to speak to all animals, not just one. Or at the very least, each wizard would have a different animal that they could understand and talk to, sort of like their Patronus. But this obviously isn't the case in Harry Potter, as the only wizards we know who can speak with animals are Parselmouths. So this brings up the intriguing question, why does Parseltongue even exist in the first place? And we know that it's been around for a very long time, since Herpo the Foul, an ancient wizard, definitely spoke it, and it was officially discovered in the 15th century by the wizard Paracelsus. Well, I thought it was interesting that the wizard who made the first Horcrux is also the wizard who might have been the first to speak Parseltongue. My theory is that Herpo made that Horcrux a snake, similarly to Voldemort, and that this Horcrux is why descendants of Salazar Slytherin, who is almost certainly a descendant of Herpo himself, can all speak Parseltongue. Because what if the act of making a Horcrux is actually a two-way ordeal, and that whenever you transfer some of your soul into something else, that something else transfers some of their soul into you? This can't happen when dealing with inanimate objects, as they simply don't have souls, but if you make a living being a Horcrux, the effect is also reverse. It also applies to Voldemort and Nagini, and it totally explains why Voldemort looks so snake-like in his new body after Goblet of Fire. It's the new snake soul that's inside of him, as making a Horcrux has a reverse effect with living things. In the last few books, Voldemort has a relationship with Nagini unlike any other Parselmouths, except perhaps Herpo the Foul, and of course it's because of the Horcrux, but if the effect was only one way, Voldemort wouldn't be feeling so connected to her. Voldemort's soul is in Nagini, making her feel connected to him, and Nagini's soul is in Voldemort, making him feel connected to her. It might also be why Dumbledore claims that making a Horcrux with an animal is so inadvisable and risky. But you're probably asking, how does this relate to Parseltongue? Well, going back to Herpo, once he created his Horcrux, he also had snake soul inside of him, and this leads me to believe that it's precisely where Parseltongue started. Having a piece of a snake's soul clearly would have given Herpo snake-like qualities, as we see in Voldemort, and one of those qualities was the ability to speak to snakes. This trait was transferred down Herpo's bloodline and to most of his descendants, one of them being Salazar Slytherin, and he's most known for it simply because he was such a famous wizard, supporting blood purity. Like any gene, some descendants probably weren't Parselmouths, simply due to how dominant or recessive the trait is, but I think it's fair to say that the majority of Herpo's descendants can speak to snakes, because they have a very small amount of snake soul in them. This means that the snake Herpo used for his Horcrux is theoretically still alive, as microscopic sections of the piece that was transferred to Herpo are in descendants around the world. So for those of you arguing that Voldemort already looked somewhat snake-like before he made Nagini his Horcrux, it's because he already had snake soul inside of him, making him a Parselmouth, and I think that making Horcruxes just drew that piece of soul out, as it technically is a Horcrux itself. And we directly see how Horcruxes affect their host in Harry himself, as Harry experiences his connection with Voldemort because of the Horcrux. And that's how Parseltongue was truly created in the first place, through the making of the first Horcrux ever by Herpo the Foul. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any future Harry Potter content. Let me know anything you'd like to add to or challenge my theory with in the comment section, as I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, see you later.